You don't know what love is. Anyways, hello, my beautiful people. I'm in a good mood today. I love when I'm in this mood. I'm hyped up. Although I did not sleep much last night. I think I slept like 3 hours. Not intentionally. Like, I'm like, oh, oops. I'm not about that life where I brag about how little I slept and how little I ate. No, 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 no. I cannot wait to take a nap. Anyways, I'm excited to also do this video in English because boy, it is some effort to make those Arabic videos. I'm here today to tell you about 7 mistakes that I've made throughout my life and that I've definitely learned. I don't want to keep doing again. I probably will, but at least I'm more aware now. I'm not intentionally going to make them or purposefully. It may happen because I'm human, but these are 7, not 7. How many do I have? I just have 4 for now. I'll probably do a part 2. Let me know if you want that. Just 4 mistakes that I know taught me a lot, and I want to share those with you. The first mistake that I've made is not saying no when I wanted to say no. And I must say, it's a huge... You know what? We're just going to let that earring go. You know what? We might let this earring go too. Okay? We're just going to accept that. I didn't say no, and I can't lie to you. It's quite disrespectful to myself to not say no when I clearly want to. Whether it is to friends or men or parents, whatever it is, I didn't choose myself at that time. Choosing the other person's comfort preferences over mine, over what I really want to do, because I don't want to make the other person uncomfortable. I don't want to make the other person upset. So I choose for them to be comfortable and for them to be at ease. And I put myself through discomfort. I put myself through things that I don't really want to do for the sake of the other person. And that shows the lack of making myself a priority. So please, I urge you to choose yourself always. When you want to say no, don't be afraid to say no. I don't care how uncomfortable you feel. Force yourself to say no and live up with that guilt or uncomfort for a little bit. You'll be over it. Trust me. It's much better to feel a little guilty or a little bad in the beginning for saying no than proceeding to say yes to something you don't actually want to do. That's heavy. And I don't recommend that. Really choose yourself always. And trust me, with time, you'll realize that saying no actually feels great. In the beginning, it might feel uncomfortable because you're not used to it and you're used to choosing other people over yourself. So choosing yourself, it feels like, oh, what am I doing? But trust me, it will end up feeling amazing to choose yourself. Like, wow, I'm so proud of myself for sticking up for myself. And I love you. Remember that. I don't know, I just felt like saying that. I love you. Whoever's watching this video, I truly have love for everyone. And here I am getting emotional. I think you can guess why. The second mistake that I've made is wanting my parents to be perfect. Growing up, and I think a lot of children, naturally, we think our parents are superhumans. You know, that they're just supposed to be perfect, and because you chose to have me in this life, whoop, and that's an earring off. Should we just accept this and leave one and take them both? We're just leaving it. No. I feel like this is heavy. This is not. As I was saying, I feel like we think like you chose to have me in this earth, so you need to do your absolute best to be perfect and do things right, and you're not allowed to make mistakes. No. Hello? Your parents are human. They're doing the best that they can. Don't forget that they might have some traumas that they have not resolved. For some of us, our parents doing their best is not enough. But what I'm trying to transmit is that we just need to have a little bit more empathy. I'm not telling you to justify all that your parents have done to you or made you go through, but please have a little compassion and empathy that your parents are really doing their best, that they're human, that they were raised in a certain way. They've gone through stuff that you have no idea about. So let's just show a little love and a little empathy. And I feel like just a little empathy and compassion does go a long way to help a relationship. get better. I'm not telling you to justify everything. You might have gone through stuff that's really, really hard, and I understand that. I'm just asking you to be aware that your parents are humans. They make mistakes, and they are allowed to. Just because they're parents doesn't mean that all of a sudden they have to be perfect. Got me? Third mistake that I've made, and I've made recently, and I'm still like pushing through to learn from, is not choosing the right friends. To be honest with you guys, I've lied to myself for a long time, telling myself that I can't have friends that don't have the same vision as me and hang around them often, and I'll be fine. I can still focus on my goals. I can still do this and do that, and I can still be myself and work on myself and be the best version of me. But to be quite honest with you, through many trials, I can tell you that does not work. I'm not telling you that all your friends have to be working on becoming the best version of themselves and working to be more than average and all of that. Some people are just okay with being average. Some people have their flaws and are not willing to work through them, and that's all right. What I'm saying is you will have those friends, right? But don't let them be the close friends that you see almost every day or that you see weekly. Do you see what I mean? Because if you do, that energy will get transmitted to you. Those bad habits that they have will be passed on to you, or you won't be able to hold on into your good habits because it's just harder when you're with someone who doesn't have the same vision as you. Of course, it's going to be harder to do those good habits that you've wanted to instill in yourself. And I've lied to myself so many times because I've had friends where I'm like, oh my God, I'm having so much fun. But I have to realize, what are my biggest priorities? Every time I've hung around those people that aren't necessarily good for me, and I hang out with them a lot, I just end up regretting it, to be honest. Not that they're bad people. They're not bad people. We just don't have the same vision of life. We just don't have the same goals. We don't have the same perspectives. We don't have the same habits. We're not working towards the same things. And so it's important to take some distance. I need to stop lying to myself about that. Still learning it. All of these lessons are just things that we're constantly going to keep learning. But please, choose the right friends. I'm telling you, I've read so many quotes saying, oh, the 5 people that circle around you are the most important. And I kept lying to myself like, no, I know I can stick to my routine. I know I can stick to my good lifestyle and have these kind of friends. Lies. Lying to myself just because I was having a good time. A good time for a little bit. But then when I was home alone, I felt a little, it wasn't matching. Like what I had in my mind and my actions didn't match. I knew I deserved better. Does that make sense? Still, not bad people. They're not bad people. Nope. Just choose the friends that are good for you, that are going to push you, they're going to motivate you, that are also working towards their goals. And you know what? What I noticed, like even more, when I was lying to myself even more, when I became aware how much I was lying to myself, was when I was hanging around the right people. When I hung out with those friends that are working towards their dreams. Okay, I'm still filming. Jeez, I was scared. When I hung out around those friends that were mature, that work through their emotional intelligence, that have the habit of self-reflection, that are working towards their dreams or their careers, I felt so inspired. I felt so energized when I went home after hanging out with them. And that's when I realized, I'm like, Mom, what your friends are like is so important. It affects you really in a huge way. It's a big influence, and we have to realize that. Last but not least, listen to your intuition. It is there for a reason. I'm telling you, so many times we argue with our intuition. Oh no, maybe I'm making a big deal out of it. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Your intuition is there for a reason. Your intuition sees things that you're probably not even conscious of. Your intuition is your subconscious. So trust it. It was there for a reason. If it's giving you signals, feelings, it's trying to tell you something, and you better pay attention. Every single time I've ignored my intuition, I regretted it. I was proven wrong right after. I'm like, Mima, you knew, you felt that from the start, but you chose not to listen to your gut. And so now I'm constantly paying attention to that intuition. I know it's there for a reason. I know it's there to tell me things that I might not even be conscious of. So if your intuition is telling you something, you best believe it's there for a reason. What was I going to say? Oh, I'm reading a book about intuition, actually. Recently, I started reading the book, The Gift of Fear. Amazing book with great stories. It gives you different examples. The author is absolutely amazing. I'm sorry I don't remember it, but I'll put the cover up here, and I strongly recommend it. Go for it. That's all for today's video. I told you 4 mistakes that I've learned throughout my life. There is so much more. Let me know if you want a part 2. I'd love to film that up for you. If you have a mistake that you've learned that you want to share with me, if you want to share with other people who are watching this video, please make sure you comment that. Comments below the mistakes. My English is just messing up right now. It's the end of the video. And I'm so glad you decided to stay until the end of this video. Also, if you're new here and you don't follow me on Instagram, you're missing a lot of content that I share. A lot of different tools, a lot of little advice here and there. So join my community there. I share a lot more than on YouTube, and I can't wait to see you next time. See you.